Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. My name is Candice, and I'm just super excited to be here again. Today we're going to be taking basically just your basic cutting board, charcuterie board. These are really popular right now for home decor, for all sorts of things. And we're going to turn this into a honey-do list. Okay, so it could be anything, but we're gonna make it a honey-do list today. We're gonna use power tools today, so you wanna stay watching. We're gonna be using a couple different molds. We're gonna be using the sunflower because it's summer and it just speaks to me, and of course some little bees here from the Laurel Mould. We are going to be using just a ton of things. So a little bit of the Letterpress Stamp, some birds and bees stamp, a wee piece of transfer from the Brocante. We are going to be using a wee little piece from Antiquities and sprigs and vintage texture and. So we're going to get a lot of things going today. So our main project is going to be the charcuterie board, and then I'm going to show you a little something to go along with it for your kitchen decor. So if we get to that, it'll be fun. Alright, so first things first, we are going to get started with our molds and get those glued on so that we have some drying time for that. Although I did do sort of a sneak step ahead, so it's not too much waiting time today. First things first, we are going to throw a little bit of cornstarch. So today I'm going to be using the air dry clay. I'm almost out. Hopefully I have enough. But these molds are amazing. So you can use resin in them, like a quick cure resin. It turns white and it's hard. And this is awesome for a flat, or if you had something that you wanted this to actually glue on and be solid and not worry about it breaking. This resin is fabulous for that. You can also use hot glue. So this is just hot glue. You can't use like a little crafty hot glue gun because it doesn't get hot enough, but one of the ones that goes to a high temperature, and just be careful because they're hot. High temperature. Yeah, high temperature. And just wait till it dries and then you pop it out. Seriously, it takes like 10 minutes. So options in here, but today we are going to be using air dry clay. I don't have too much on here. I'm just going to get right into my mold and just dust it. I'm going to dust this little leaf right here as well. And let's see how we do. Okay, so let's just get this started. My clay is getting a little bit hard, and it's the last of my full stash here, so. Alright, so you can see that I'm just piecing this in here. I don't have a ton of clay with me up here. So I'm just piecing it in, and it's not going to be a problem. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to use, it's just actually a cake decorating scraper, but I'm just going to use that to pull off the excess. I like this little thing just because when I have a bigger piece, it just is sometimes a little bit easier. You can use the back of a credit card. You can use the back of the scraper that you get when you buy the image transfers. Yeah, so you can use whatever you have on hand. And I happen to be using this one today. Okay, so it's into all those spaces. Oh, look at that!
That's how good it is.
Flip it over, but it just popped right out on me.
So look at this. I can get it.
Look at all the details in there.
Beautiful.
And you can't see where I added pieces in there, so we're not even going to worry about that. This is going to go on here. So here we go. I already dusted this one. So this one is a really tiny piece. I'm just going to use my thumbs. There we go. And okay, here we go. Flipping over. Oh, and it's just popping right out.
Let me see.
So look at these little beauties. Lots of really fun detail. We're gonna do one more of those. Look at this. I got just the right amount of clay. Right in there. Super easy. Right? There's really no mystery to these. When they're little, they're super easy. And again, that's just gonna pop out. Right?
The detail of them.
And let's get one more leaf just so that this one's going to be the same as the one I'm going to show you in a minute that I already pre-did. There we go. So, yeah. So again, it's just going to pop right out for me. Oh, that one's not. But I didn't redust this one. So it still came out lovely. but I forgot to redust it. So you can see how when you dust it with the cornstarch, it just comes out so easily. Alrighty, so there's our molds. We're gonna set those aside and we're gonna glue these ones down. I have Weld Bond, which is basically a thick white glue that's going to dry clear because you don't want big yellow. Although with this one, I'm going to glue them on and then paint the whole substrate, including the molds, the same color. All right. So we're going to start with this one here. And I love, so the air dry clay is layerable and moldable. And oh, my glue, I think I say this every time, don't I? I need to clean this out. All right, so glue is in the center, pushing it all the way out to those edges. I don't need so much, I don't want it coming out, but I do want to make sure that it has all the way to the edges so that it's going to glue down. So this one, I'm actually going to let some of this mold right over the edge. Okay, and this one up here. I'm going to actually tuck this one, I think, underneath. Let's get some more glue out. I could always trim it and just have it, I think I want it there, right? So again, you can mold these to be whatever direction you want them to be. So you do want to be careful not to over squish these down because you don't want to lose all that beautiful detail. All right, there we go. Okay. So they are just going to sit there and dry, right? Okay. So I am going to paint right over them. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you though that you can just, even while they're fresh and on there. Oops.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get a little bit of paint here. And this is just, I know someone's going to ask, I just mixed a couple colors, a yellow and a really soft sort of French green, and created just a soft color. So I'm just going to go right into all of these details. I am being gentle because I do not want to damage all that yummy detail. But you can just see here, right, where I'm going with that, right? So it's going to be beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna set this one aside, and through the magic of, I was gonna say TV, but just me working at home, I have one. So same thing, done the same sort of design on here, and but it's dry now. So I want to add some detail into here. So I'm just going to grab a couple of colors. I want some green for the leaves. I want a little bit of an orangey color. So just a wee bit of brown on here, and a wee bit of yellow. So this is the yellow that I started with, nice and bright, and then I just added a little bit of green to make it what I wanted it to be. There is so much detail. Now I don't have to hit every little bit in there because I've already got it covered, and so this is just going to add a little bit of extra fun. I'm going to use a little bit of water just because I want to get into all the details, and I'm not going for perfection here. I'm just going for that idea, right? We're getting some in. I'm looking upside down. I should probably put my glasses on too, so I can actually see where I'm going. Here we go. So I'm sort of cleaning my brush. I'm not too worried at this point. I'm going to come in with some brighter yellow. I'm just hitting some of these. I'm not trying to be perfect on them, just adding some dimension, right? I'm going to come in with some green on my leaves, and I did not even clean my brush off. Actually, when you just hit the tops of things with another color, you'll find too that it really starts to show. Look at all those little, you can see the veins in there now, which you really couldn't see before. And when we come in and wax this later, you're going to find that that stage as well just makes things pop so beautifully, all the details. And that's why I really wanted to have this sort of pre-prepped for you, so that you can see the whole process. So I'm coming in with some of that orange now as well, just kind of hitting some spots, a little bit in here as well. Don't be afraid to get in there and just kind of mush things, right? I didn't bring any black up for my bees, but let's bring in a little bit more yellow in here anyway. I should have brought some black up. Oh well. Oh well.
Can add it later.
Okay, so just a wee bit of some extra color in there. Highlights, lowlights, right?
Brings it off the platform.
Right, so it just doesn't blend in quite the same. All right, so that one is ready to go. I'm going to give it a quick, just a quick dry. Okay, I'm not gonna dry in like 10 seconds flat. So I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of vintage textures in here because everybody knows how much I love my vintage textures. So vintage textures, I'm just going to show you. Mine's all cut up because I keep it in a baggie there. It comes with, this one here is like chicken scratches, right? Like it's all weathered and scratched up. A very large crackle stamp. It has the little, like a shattered glass, a small crackle. And then it comes with 4 different edges. So you can just, again, make it look like it's, actually maybe I'll use these ones today because I usually use the others. So maybe we'll do some of that today. And just before we get to that, I have this sweet little, can I do it now? I need to do it later because I'm going to use wax. I'm going to use Gilding Wax. But I thought we could just add a little bit of honeycomb in there. So I'm going to do that one later. And right now, let's just do some stamping. So I have the black ink in my IOD stamp pad. It is an archival ink or an India ink, which means it's permanent. And so once it's dry, it's there. So I'm just going to gently tap this because I don't want to have it super, super bold. And here we go. We're just going to tap that down. You see how it makes it look as if it's just weathered over time and as if that black is actually coming from underneath. Even though it's not, it's all tricking. It's trickery, people. And I don't want to do it the same direction, so there we go. And even I didn't have to do the whole thing, right? So you just even some hit and miss. I'm going to put a little bit up here as well. And let's flip it this way. All right, what do you think?
Pretty.
I think I love it.
Yeah.
A little bit up here. Because this is actually where it's going to be the grungiest on your piece if it was really old and chippy. And there.
So yeah, it's cool on the corners too, right? Yeah. Added in there. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. So we've got some big background happening there. And now we are going to move on to creating. So I'm going to show you on the one that we did prior how to use the power tools and actually do that piece there. Okay, so I just have a little piece of wood. I've just sanded the edges and just cut something that's going to fit inside of there. It's doing what I want it to do, but there are a couple little tricks to using power tools, so I thought I would show you. If I was to just go for it like this,
I'm trying to get you all in. Hang on here.
Sorry, I can move over.
Okay, there we go.
So if I was just going to go, 2 things are going to happen. This is going to start spinning on me. I'm going to have a mess, and I run the risk of going right through Carrie's desk. Okay, so really important to think of these things ahead of time. Carrie's thanking me now.
Yes, I am.
So just having a little something under here.
Good call.
Right?
Yeah.
So that I know I'm not going to go through. So there's a little hint right there. And another option, there's something underneath here that's wobbling it. Another option is if you're working on something, you can always run it over the edge, again, so that you're not going to damage whatever it is you're working on. I'm going to do this on here. And I'm not being perfect, I'm eyeballing it. And so I'm going to set it here, and I'm going to grab my drill. And I want to make sure I have pressure holding this, and I should have marked it out exactly where this is going to go. So let's just do a cheater. Okay, so I'm going to make a little line right around there and right around there. Okay, so I'm going to hit the center of this I'm going straight down with my pressure, and I'm putting a fair amount of pressure on there. So I can feel when it's, oh, mess, when it's gone through everything. I was just going to show you this one's. Okay, so you can feel that difference when it goes through the one. And now I'm just going to carry on and make sure I'm going the right direction.
I'm interested to see what you're putting through there, since you're going all the way through.
Right? Did I go through? Didn't quite. Another trick that I should have done, really, is if I put a piece of tape around here at the distance between these two, I would know when to stop, right?
That's true.
I just kind of, you know, I just wing things. I think our drill needs to be charged, because it should be through already. Charge it fully before you do this. So we're going to leave it here. I'm going to show you, though, that you've seen what we're doing and how we're achieving that. Okay. So we're going to set that one aside.
Real life.
Real life, yeah. But you see the process. And I wanted to, because a lot of people are scared of power tools, and they're really not scary. Have fun with them. So just make sure they're fully charged. We have this one ready to go. And now we are going to just grab some coffee paper, and I just cut it to the size that I like it to be. All right, and I'm going to show you how I went from this to something like this. So it looks like a vintage, kind of fun. You can create your own whatever you want on here. But I thought, because it's a honey-do list, we're going to use the little beehive here from Antiquities. So many cute things in here. You could have the little piggy on there and do like your grocery list, or Miss Potts baking powder grocery list, right? Or just a cute little notepad, right? Anything, could be whatever you want. So we are going to use the little honey. So I've taken one of the thin mounts and I've cut it into 4, and I like that. It just gives me something to handle. All right, so I'm just going to stamp on top of that. I am a messy stamper, and so I always make sure that I clean my edges, just to make sure that that's not going to go on my paper. And again, this could be on the corner, it could be up here. I just sort of rough centered it. Once it's down, I'm just going to give it a little squish on there. I'm not putting a whole ton of pressure, just making sure that all of the detail is in there. Look at how sweet that is.
Beautiful. And
I can just keep going and going and going. So we're just going to show you the basics, and then you can make it even prettier. So I'm just going to use, this is Distressing. It's a Tim Holtz product. And I use just a little makeup sponge brush, and I'm just going to take this, I'm not going to do it on my project, and I'm just going to add a little bit of darkening to this, just to give it that more weathered look. You can come in and use the edging. It's like, just use it like this if you want, right? Whatever you want to do. And then what I actually did, because it's a little bit stark, was I just took a wee spritz of water, and see how it blends? It just bleeds. I love that. Love it. So it looks like it's old coffee stain or something like that. Just gently bring some more in here. Okay, and then when that dries, it's gonna have that little bit of a crinkly look to it, just like this one here. And I just think it's super cool. Okay. So this one is pretty close to being ready. So we're going to put some wax on here just to seal the whole piece. You're going to see how the dark wax in here is going to bring out even more details. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and just bring this a little bit more to life. So I'm just using some wax. I'm just going over the whole piece. Right now I'm using a clear wax just to seal it. So I can be rougher. If you've seen me when I do things a little bit too quick and I wax while my molds are still soft, I can't really get into all of these details and make sure that they are fully covered in my clear wax. So the reason I do that is when I come back with my dark wax, I have control of how much I have on there. I'm not staining my whole piece. I am just making sure that it's what I want, the vision I have. Okay, so there we go. We've got some clear wax on there. And when you're waxing, you're going to put it on, remove the excess, just like this. Look how fun all those little bits of color. Like, I just love how it just, I didn't even think about it, right? Don't overthink it. Just get some color on there. Although I'll probably come back later and add some black to my beads, but maybe. We'll see once we put the dark wax and stuff in there. All right, so we're gonna now add a little bit of dark wax. Okay.
You're using the same brush?
Well, I used a dark wax brush initially. Yeah, because I knew it was pretty clean. Carrie's freaking out.
I'm like, never clear or in dark.
Okay, so here we go. It's gonna look really scary at first. Just trust me. Okay, I'm getting into all of these areas. I'm going underneath a little bit too. Over and over here, into our bees, into all of that detail. Okay, I probably didn't do the sides as well as I should have, and I'm just going to bring some down here and the edges.
Yeah, I like how you're not doing the whole thing, just...
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, this is where it's going to be, right? In that crackle and all of that. So now I'm going to take my thing and I'm going to pull it back, right? I'm going to pull it back. Now watch here. This is where the magic happens. So when I pull that wax off the top of these pieces, all of it goes into, it's gone into all the detail and just makes all of those details. I'm going to try to get a better
picture here. Yeah, look at that.
Right? And if I was like, oh, it's a little bit more than I would have liked, I can pop into my clear wax here, clean spot, and just pick up a little bit of that clear wax and run it over top, and I can, remove some of that excess if I'm not happy with it. Although I love it. Love it. I actually want to just kind of deepen this up here a little bit.
Is your block painted already?
My block is pre-painted as well. Yeah. And I should have clear waxed that first though. So let's just, before I use my lights, and here we go. There we go. So that's got the clear on there first. And now we want to darken this up a little bit. When I do my second one, I'll definitely do a little bit more. So I want it to be a little bit darker here as well. And just wipe it back. Look at how cute that is. We're going to come in now with a little bit of this honeycomb kind of look of a stencil. So I'm just going to grab some, it's just like a wax. Don't do that. And I'm just going to make sure it's into my brush. And I'm just going to add some honeycomb with some coppery gilding wax. And I'm just going hit and miss. Look at that.
Oh.
Isn't that fun? Just the little details,
yeah.
Right? A little bit there. Maybe a little bit up here. What do you think? That's pretty cool, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Loving it. So now I'm also going to take a little bit of that on my hand, on my fingers. I don't want a lot. And I'm just going to hit the tops of these things just to bring that little bit of gold. Or copper, or whatever it is, right? It just brings a little bit more magic to the piece. And
to make a good Christmas gift for people and get started on your crafting.
Right? Okay, so we're going to take this now and put it all together. So basically what we're putting it together with are just some old bolts and some wing nuts. So whatever size bolts and wing nuts you find, perfect, right? So this is what I happen to have at home. These are going to come around the back because I love the rusty bolts or the rusty wing nuts. This is going to just pop underneath here. Oh, we forgot my pencil. So here's my pencil. I just actually chopped the pencil. So small because I wanted a little mini one and I couldn't find cute little mini ones. I've just run a little bit of hot glue and some twine on there. There we go. Okay, so that's just underneath there. And when all my papers are the same, they're going to be stunning. There we go. There. In the way. There we go. So when it's hanging on the wall, my pencil can just sit up here. And it can be hanging. It's ready to go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? And I should have done before I waxed. So I'm going to show you what to do. I was going to write the words honeydew or whatever it is that you want it to say, right? And I'm just going to grab the letters. Let's see. So this is from Letterpress. And the beautiful thing about Letterpress is there are like 3 different font sizes. It's amazing, okay? So I like to do it directly on my piece. H. Oh. I want the stamping piece to be down. H. O. N. So I could have adjusted it slightly to make sure that it was.
You could put the words down the side too if you wanted.
Oh,
yeah, there's so many.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I like that. So, but basically, you want to figure out wherever you're going to put this. Line it up with the stamping side down. Take your thin mount and pick it up. Okay? So I'm going to use that one for now. And I'm going to stamp on it and just see what happens. We're going to see what happens. I'm not worried about it being exactly perfect. If you are, then these grid lines are amazing for actually lining it up perfectly. I like a little bit more rustic and crazy because a little bit my world. So there's my honey. I'm going to go right up to the top so I definitely have room. And basically once you put it down, commit. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that every letter it's not shifting and that every letter has my finger running over it. So that, oops, as I shift. Look at that, honey. Wipe them off. And they're ready for the next time. And then we want the D and the O. And again, easy, pick it up, you're ready to go. Do the stamp. Okay.
Honeydew.
Hold that up. How sweet is that? Kind of cute, hey?
Yeah.
Kind of cute. And I just wanted to show you this one here as well. Super simple. You can add so much to make this beautiful. I could be adding some pieces like this, some decor pieces. I could be adding some trim, you know, so this is what it looked like. And I just slapped on some paint, so it's gonna match my decor. And then I thought, how fun would it be this napkin is a blank space, right? Why don't we make something beautiful on there? So, to go with my theme today, because we're doing honey and that, so I thought we'd use birds and bees. And just grab a couple little bees here. I'm going to pull them off. I'm just going to, okay, I want one here, here. Oh, here's a bigger one. Okay, so look at all these. I mean, this stamp is so beautiful, the birds and bees. I love it. All right, so here we go again. Just going to pick those 3 up, ready to go. And long as you clean your stamps afterwards and make sure the backs are clean and you're using a clean thin mount, it's going to stick every time. And if it's not sticking, it means that you just need to give it a good clean with a wet wipe or throw it in your sink with a little warm soapy water and then you're good to go. Okay, really clean enough. But it's about giving you the idea and how you can just create your own fun, right? So many things, look at that.
It's a great project to do with kids,
right?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. Into here. And then it's ready to go. Just stamp a whole bunch and have whatever it is that you want in there, okay? I found this magnetic sheet at a dollar store, I don't even know where. And I thought, this is metal, let's have some fun. So, we didn't stamp that one either, but I'm going to show you here. I thought the bee from Brocante would be super beautiful. So we're just going to take this little dude out of here. I might lose his antennas, but that's okay.
So you're making a magnet, is that what you're doing?
Just gonna turn this little guy into a magnet.
Brilliant.
So here we have, just gonna pull them off, stick them down there. Oh, look how easy. Didn't even have to try on that one. I did put a little bit of just a clear lacquer on here because the first time I did it, I thought, oh, it just took a little bit longer to get that to stick. And I could even cut around his antennas and leave a little bit of that white background if I want to. So many options. Yeah, if I was at home and taking the time, I could totally fussy cut it out exactly. But it's pretty darn good. And let's just add a little something here so that he has something to forage in. IOD has so many amazing things to work with. So let's just throw some flowers in here for this little dude. And I could have used some of the colorful stamps, but I thought we'd just keep it a little bit black and white today. I didn't clean my edges. Huh, we'll see how I did. Oh, fingers crossed. Not bad, look at that. And then look. Look at that. So much fun, lots of things to do. So thank you again for watching. My name is Candice. All of the IOD products you can find at ironorchiddesigns.com, and find a retailer who lives near you, because that is, get your hands on these products. They're amazing, and have some fun, and hope to see you soon.